Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Getting Inside the Right Male Mind. I'm Lisa Shield.
And I'm Benjamin Shield.
And it is lovely to be here with you today. We have what Benjamin and I think is a wonderful, wonderful topic. We are going to talk about casual sex. I know that this was something that really got in the way of my relationships and my ability to relate to men.
And mine as well.
Really,
to women, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's good to know. It's really great. Mm-hmm. It's because I think for women, it's so stigmatized that, we're going to be a whore or easy or whatever, promiscuous if we have casual sex, even though, for many women, we want it as much as men do. Mm-hmm. But it's also, I was raised with the idea that men are just sexual creatures and they have to, have multiple partners, and that's what men do. They love the conquest, they love the chase. But it's really fascinating to hear you say that it got in your way.
Well, all those things are true about men. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're just wired that way. However, it doesn't. It's not the foundation of a good relationship or a lasting relationship.
It's just about sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just about sex.
It's about Saturday night, not Sunday morning.
That's very good. Yeah. So it is something that's just wired into a man, to want to chase women, to love that whole process. Tell me about that. Can we talk about the chase?
Men love the art of the chase and the seduction.
What do you love about it?
Well, it's a conquest.
Uh-huh.
And it's a validation of our masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
What's fun about it?
Well, it's fun to see if you could get someone to want what you want, and it's not about, getting to know someone, creating a foundation of friendship and looking to build a lasting relationship. It's really, that moment, almost like a game sport.
Well, and I think women, if we're not, if we were really being honest with ourselves, many women also love the seduction. Mm-hmm. They love being seduced, and they love the seduction. The problem is, for women, we fall under the spell of seduction, and then what we really want are relationships, right? We're not looking so much for sex as sport, or we want partnership. And we want to believe that the attention that's coming at us is real and authentic, and a man is not just caught up in seducing her because that's what men love to do. Right. Because that's a part of being a man. But we want to believe that it's all true and that you really do want to marry us and live happily ever after. So I think, being realistic, I tend to be very much a realist. I look at, wow, so this is really the way it is, right? But it doesn't mean that just because men enjoy seducing women and chasing women and having casual sex, getting a woman into bed, that doesn't mean a man doesn't also want to have relationship with us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think a man during seduction may believe that, my God, this could be the woman, this could be my dream girl, this could be, the beginning, and every night could be like this. So, at the moment, in the heat of the moment, he may think that, so it may not be
for a moment, though.
It may not be falsehood or, trickery or, it's two people. It's a dance of two people. It's folly to do.
Yeah. So there you are. But in the morning, right? Tell me what happens in the morning.
Well, I think I think it's about jumping in with too much and winding up with too little. So in the morning, you've just spent the evening with seduction and romance and alcohol and
And hormones.
hormones, absolutely. And a passionate night of two lovers embracing and all. And then in the morning, the fireworks aren't necessarily there.
Right.
The alcohol isn't there. And you don't really know how to be with each other. Are you supposed to be lovers? Like you've have a history and you've had shared experiences and intimate conversations and emotional availability and trust and safety and all that. And so without all of that, how do you deal with that person?
Like it hits you that you just had this magical night and you don't even really know who this person is at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty stunning if you stop to think about it.
Yeah. And, it's almost, it turns the relationship on its head.
Right.
People become lovers before they become friends. And almost any lasting, trusting relationship is built on a foundation of friendship.
It has to be.
Shared experiences, emotional availability, and I think one of the things that we miss with casual sex is that one of the most, if not the most sexually exciting part of a relationship is before there's sexual intimacy, before, there's sex.
Where you're building, you're stoking the
yeah,
fires.
it's just like you just think about someone and you're longing for someone and you know that you need to wait a little longer, and it's just like the most amazing period of relationship or of someone's life.
You're turning me off.
Yeah.
I'm getting really excited hearing you talk about this. We had such a beautiful. I want to talk a little bit about the genesis of our relationship and how we handled the sex and how consciously we entered in to that contract with each other and both honored it. Yeah. We had such a beautiful, we handled sex well, and you started it off. What did you say to me? I think it was around our 5th date.
Yeah, I said, I really like you a lot. And that, I've been in relationships where I've jumped into things too soon and they've gone nowhere. We really didn't get to know each other. And I knew that I wanted to really get to know you and build a relationship.
And you said that. You said, and I really want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And that meant so much to me to hear those words from you. I really want to get to know you.
Yeah.
That was so wonderful to hear that from a man.
Yeah. And it's so much easier to get to know someone when there's not the pretense of being lovers.
Right.
So I said, I forgot the words
You
that
said
I used.
I'm not rushing into anything, including sex.
Right.
I've tried that before and it doesn't work.
Right.
And I felt the same way. I mean, you as a man, it meant so much to me because as a man, you did that for me and for us. And I wish more men would. I wish more men would be as thoughtful and responsible and eloquent as you were with the sex, because it really is what women want men to advance the sex and the sexual agenda. But at the same time, that's really scary for us. It's scary. And some men do it too quickly. They put the moves on us too fast, and then we have to put up the boundary. So you doing that for me and for us was breathtaking.
I think the conversation is important because if a man does wait without a conversation, a woman may feel that there's no sexual attraction, there's no magnetism, that, there may be something off with him as far as his sexual nature. So
But
having that
there's
conversation.
also, honey, so much stress and pressure on men to to make getting laid the agenda. There is so much pressure for men to do that with other men. Oh, did you get laid last night? Or whatever, did you score? And guys put pressure on other guys to make sex the agenda. And the fact that there could be a grown, mature man who was so aware of his sexuality and, so in control of wanting to, be responsible about that part of the relationship. I mean, that's just like other dimensional. It really is. How many guys do that?
Well, hopefully a lot, but I don't think so.
No, they don't. And God, what that would mean to a woman for a man to do that.
I think both a man and a woman having sex early on, the idea is that they're sealing the deal. Like if I could just,
Get her into bed.
Yeah, and make love to her.
Wow.
It's going to seal the deal. She's attractive. She's got all these things going for her.
And if she'll sleep with me, then I have her.
Yeah.
If I want her.
Yeah. And so I think they feel, well, this seals the deal. We're now in a relationship, and it's just the opposite.
Right.
They're in pretense. They're in a twilight zone of what might be or may not be romance, because no one knows, because it's pretend. Like,
it is pretend.
God, now we're lovers. What do you want to do today?
Now we've taken this relationship to that, and so that has to mean something.
Yeah. And the night before there were fireworks, there was alcohol, there were hormones, there was playfulness, and then the next morning,
it's like, what did we do?
Yeah, that isn't there. Just the people are there.
And one of the big things too that just sabotages this and is so wrong for so many women to dive in like that is that then many women, because of guilt, religious guilt, societal guilt around you're not supposed to sleep with men right away, and what were you, you're a bad girl, or whatever trippery we run on ourselves, suddenly tremendous shame and embarrassment comes to the surface for the woman. Right. What does he think? Does he like me? I mean, it brings up all of our insecurities. And right there, no matter how well things were going, how beautifully we thought we might have connected, all of those things, now what we're left with is shame. Yeah. I blew it. Does he think poorly of me? Does he think I'm easy? I mean, it's an awful, awful feeling. And that creates an automatic disconnect.
Yeah. And the man could feel shame also, not so much for himself, but if the woman expresses that, I can't believe I did that, and I went against my own ethics, and I need to leave, goodbye. A man feels terrible, even and you don't have to be a good man or a great man or a good man to feel terrible.
Honey.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
A man would, like a conscious man, a caring man, would feel terrible.
I think he would have to have pathology not to feel terrible.
Because he wouldn't have necessarily wanted to hurt her, or he wasn't, not all guys just think women are, something to get into bed and then they're done with them. Yeah. There are conscious, caring men who actually would feel awful if they thought that the woman regretted what happened.
Right. And also, if their secure attachments or their attachments are avoidant, one or both, that once they get together as lovers and come so close that one or both may want to pull away because they feel they're uncomfortable. It's too much. They're uncomfortable with the closeness. And so instead of slowly moving together, it moves together too quickly and then repels.
Well, and moving slowly, what I love about that, babe, is that by moving slowly and the way we set those very clear boundaries from the start and then both honored them, we kept proving to each other, we got to see over and over again who this other person is, right? We got to pay attention to all of these nuances, these beautiful things that happened in our connection when we fell in love and how sweet it was and how much how dear, we both showed up so fully and so vulnerably.
I remember before we were sexually intimate that we lived in different parts of town, and Los Angeles is large. So you lived on one end, I lived on the other. And it was getting late, and, I invited you to sleep over. I just had one bed. And I think you had asked for a T-shirt. What did you say?
I asked you, I think I asked you for a T-shirt, and then you put it on yourself.
What did I say?
I said, do you have a T-shirt? And you said, oh, yeah. Because we were going to stay over. And you said, I promise nothing will happen. You can sleep on one side of the bed. I'll sleep on the other.
And I was nervous.
And I didn't know this. I mean, it became clear in that moment. And you said, I said, do you have a T-shirt? And you said, oh, yeah. And unknowingly, that I didn't know that you slept in your birthday suit normally. So you took the T-shirt on and you put it on. And I sat there and I kind of looked at you and I watched you put it on. And I said, do you have another one? I don't think I can sleep in my street. No. And you said, oh, right. And you said, I don't think I do. And I said, well, I don't think I can sleep in my clothes, and you said, I don't know if I can trust myself if I'm naked. And or if you're naked. And I said, I know, that's why I need the T-shirt. But it was so endearing to watch that, right? That moment. And we knew we weren't going to sleep, have sex, but it was so dear just to, see those very beautiful, vulnerable moments that we shared.
Yeah, and with those moments, coming together means that much more because there's that shared experience, there's the fun, there's the sharing of emotion, the sexual tension that's built up,
all the sweetness and all the connection.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see who the other person really was and is. We saw each other and we took the time to see each other, which was so beautiful. And I love that we wanted to take that time to get to know each other. Yeah. I was in no rush, and I kept thinking, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this man, why would I want to rush it? Yeah. Why? I want to take this so slowly, and I want to savor every single moment of it. Yeah. Every moment, because here's the thing. I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life with you. I knew that very, and this is not was it love at first sight?
No,
but it wasn't that. It was, I knew you were the most incredible human being I had ever met. I knew that. I didn't know if our lives would fit together or what it was going to look like, but I knew you were an amazing man.
Thank you.
From the moment I met you.
And I felt the same way about you as a woman, that you were extraordinary. And I really wanted to get to know you. I had a curiosity, and kind kind of a longing just to know all about you and what made you who you are, you know, and also getting to know you, to know not only who you are, but what you can be, both.
Oh, babe.
Yeah, and I've been privileged to witness both.
Yeah. Yeah, I have grown through your love so much in this relationship. You know, the way that I know you see all of me. You know, you see where I struggle. You see where places I still need to grow. And you hold this beautiful light for me. You know, you always love me. You never stop loving me. You never judge me. And you have believed in my pure potential. And you've helped me cultivate, you know, all the things I've wanted in life. And it's so precious to me because we talk about being guardians of each other's souls. And I really see how you do that. And I know, like, you can't be in two places at once, but like, you so support me and my vision, and you've allowed it in many ways to become our shared vision. By working with me and agreeing to, to come on our calls and now being a part of this work together, you've grown.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not self-conscious about being behind a microphone.
Well, I've watched you come alive in this way and, really see your worth, your value to humanity, to my clients. And I want to come back to our subject, which is taking things slowly. And by taking things slowly, you and I created this foundation where, we built this extraordinary friendship and connection first. And then we brought the sexual component in. And we have everything. Everything as a result of it, because we didn't rush this process. We gave it the love and nurturing and attention it needed to build a connection that is unbreakable. The only thing that will ever tear us apart is death. And it's because we took this slowly. We nurtured this connection that we saw. We didn't try to fake it with alcohol. We didn't rush into it. We didn't project. The two of us walked side by side slowly into this beautiful relationship that we've created together.
It's a natural unfolding rather than an unnatural, forceful entry into a relationship.
Almost, people try to make it an event in their lives, right? Like when we think of an event, there's fireworks and there's, alcohol and partying, and it's bigger than life somehow, thinking that it's going to bring meaning to our lives. And it does. It brings more meaning than anyone could ever imagine. A shared life with a true guardian of your soul is the most beautiful life there is, right? But it's not an event.
And we may have missed all of this if we jumped in our
Well, we
first
would have.
or second or third date. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in this beautiful compound in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We wouldn't have shared, this year will be 20 years together, and they've been magical. It wouldn't have happened.
No.
We may still be rattling around the single scene, looking for, you're wondering if there are any good men out there, And, you know,
Yeah. And we've made our relationship the most important thing in our lives, not because we're supposed to or we have to, out of love, and because we see, the value in what this brings to our lives, the richness, the reward. And back to our conversation, this wasn't something that happened. It's something you and I consciously created from day one.
Definitely by choice.
By choice. And it started with taking it slowly.
Mm-hmm. Not over projecting.
No, and not rushing into anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Even when I met you, even when I thought this is the kindest man I've ever met, this is the most evolved human being I've ever known. And I knew that when I met you, but I still said to myself, and you don't know him yet. This is what you're seeing, but now you have to see if what you think you see is really who he is. Mm. And I took the time to slow down long enough to see that, yes, you were and you continue to be. Mm. So that's what you get from putting sex aside, casual sex will blow, that's going to ruin, it has the power to ruin everything.
Right. I've been in my practice now over 40 years. And so I've done tens and tens of thousands of sessions, maybe, well over 70,000 sessions. And so I've met a lot of guys and I hear a lot of stories. And the guys that are into getting women into bed early, are not the guys that, they'll often say, do you know any women, that you want to introduce me to?
And you're like, no. I do not.
But if a guy, really is sincere about meeting someone, getting to know someone, romancing, having the natural progression, that natural frequency of a relationship without having it become dissonant. Those are the guys that I would, like match people up. But the guys that come in and brag that, on the first or second date, they had this wild night and, unbelievable, Ben, just unbelievable. She's so hot. And they're just on to the next one.
Wow.
Because they're constantly, they're not men. They're individuals trying to prove that they're men. Wow. And so they have to keep proving it. It's the guys that have the self-assurance and really know what they want in the long run. Those are the real men.
I know, and it's so easy for women to fall for the wrong guys because they're good that, they're good with the shtick and the come on and all that stuff.
The great dinner, ordering the right wine.
And they perfect that approach, and 9 times out of 10 it works. And the women fall for it, and they know the seduction. But it's not good for the guy, and it's not good for the woman.
Yeah. And I've been, as a man, and I've been on the planet many, many decades, so I've had a rich sexual life, particularly as a younger man. And I've felt, pressured. I mean, there were times that I could think of that I've, gone out of the room and the woman has come back in the room and the woman was naked in bed. And she said, well, this is going to happen anyway. So let's just do it. And, I don't know, none of those relationships lasted. It was just like, well, that's great. I don't have to work for it. It's just free and easy.
But it also takes away.
Oh, it takes away the romance. It takes away
everything.
It even takes away some respect.
And some masculinity, you know, that the man wants to seduce her and charm her.
Yeah.
It seems like a business transaction almost.
Yeah. And when I say it takes away respect, it kind of shows that the woman is insecure and wants to seal the deal early on. Like, you know, let's just get this over with, and, you know, we're in a relationship now.
Okay.
And we never were in a relationship, you know, you know, you both say goodbye to each other later that night or first thing in the morning, you know, early. And, you know, those things don't go anywhere. I mean, maybe in a rare instance, but it's rare.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. When you think of all the romantic movies of the 1940s and you know, that era, those black and white romantic movies, no one is jumping into bed early. You know, there's sexual tension, there's frustration, there's misunderstanding, there's humor, and it all builds into each other knowing each other. There's misunderstanding, there's aha moments and all that. By the time they finally do get together, and in a lot of these movies they do, you know, it happened one night at North by Northwest, and, you know, all these, you know, To Catch a Thief and all of these,
they all,
you know, classic movies. It's about building this relationship and sexual tension that by the time something happens, they really know each other. And when they come together as lovers, they really are lovers. It's not pretend. It's not just like something on the surface, you know, where there's nothing.
Right.
You know, it's like thin ice. You know, it looks real at the time, but there's nothing underneath it.
Yeah. We're so naive. You know, we talk and I think about the subject and I just think about how much naivete there is on both sides of this equation, how little we thought we really give to what we're doing in this part of our lives and into the outcome. You know, I'm going to show up this way, and how is that working, and what do I know about men? I mean, we know so little about this part of our lives.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that we'd like to share right now this wonderful song by Frank Sinatra. It was written by Alan and Marilyn Bergman. I think that's their name. And early on in their careers, but it says so much. The lyrics are so clear. So let's take a moment and let's play it right now.
And any younger listeners, you know, a little Frank is always good. So yeah, let's listen to this Frank Sinatra tune.
Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax and don't you worry. You're gonna fall in love. We're on the road to romance, that's safe to say. But let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime. 'Cause nice and easy does it every time.
So, honey, tell me about that tune and why, you know, why did you want to play that? What do you love about that song?
Well, first, you know, it's so true and so universal, you know, and it's sung by a man, not a woman.
Ah,
you know?
interesting.
So it's really universal, you know. let's take it nice and easy. You know, we're on the road to romance, you know, and
Let's give it a chance. Yeah.
and let's, you know, stop along the way. You know, it's beautiful. It really sums it up. It really sums it up.
And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what most people, and people are so afraid of doing it because they want to seal the deal quickly. And they're afraid if they don't, something's going to get lost. And that fear is really, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't know how to create that beautiful connection, which is what you and I are teaching women how to do.
Right. And also, if there's space between the first meeting and the sexual contact, that during that time, either partner or both may realize, you know, this isn't my guy. This isn't my the woman I want to spend the rest. So there's that time after that those initial fireworks and hormones to really and alcohol to really see, you know, is this someone I want to wake up next to 5 years, 20 years from now? And, you know, the answer could be yes, but more often than not, it's no.
But what's really cool is that in our program, what we're doing is we're teaching women what to do in that space, how to create that connection, how to get emotionally naked, how to get into their hearts and get a man into his heart. So how they can create that connection with a guy, and how to even tell if it's a guy they want to create that connection with.
Yeah.
So we really take that space and we show them how to find a true partner, which is the missing piece. It's why so many people jump into the sex and want to seal the deal, because they don't know how to do it the way we did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one thing that should be brought up is that when there's sex, initial sex, there's the woman bonds more to the man than the man may bond to the woman.
Right.
You know, I think after sex, initial sex, the woman is fantasizing about the guy, about the relationship, about their future. And the guy's fantasizing, you know, if that happens Saturday night, the guy's fantasizing about watching football games Sunday. You know, he's not saying, oh my gosh, you know, we should go to a farmer's market.
Oh my God.
Let's go to the museum.
Sometimes you say something and it's just like, oh my God, that's so true. And if women could just get that, like, yeah. Aww.
Yeah. But, you know, if you start going to farmers markets first, you know, if you start, you know, like having brunch first and getting
and
to
he
know each
sees
other.
how much fun it is just to be with you and hang out with you.
Yeah, and he wants to, you know, do that because it's great for him.
Oh.
But, you know, I think after that, in many, many, many instances, you know, after that initial sexual encounter, that
they cut and run.
Yeah, you know, or man just needs space to process, you know, and so it's not like, okay, I did it, that's great, you know, and forget about her. It's when he watches a football game, he's processing the night before, and men process things much more slowly. Right. And a woman is saying, wow, you know, I can get tickets for this concert next weekend. You know,
Yeah, they want to move. We want to just move it along.
Yeah, and the guy is really, you know, integrating it. And there's no specific timetable for a guy because, you know, he'll be in a conversation with a guy about something totally different. He'll be watching a commercial, you know, Super Bowl commercial or whatever it is, and have an insight. And, you know, like, wow, I really miss her. You know, that was a wonder.
Right.
I've never had an evening like that.
Yep.
Or,
and
you know,
we're so anxious to just get it done.
Yeah.
And we don't even realize that you could be sitting there like fantasizing about us, and we're just like sending you a text or, you know, I'd love to see you again.
It's repellent. It's repellent because the guy is still processing
Yeah.
what happened 1 or 2 or 3 nights before. And now he's having to respond, like, hey, sweetie, I missed your beautiful eyes and this and that. And, he's obligated to write something back that's romantic.
And
And he may not feel romantic.
Right. And
he may still be processing. And, so, for the women out there, it's to understand that guys may need some space.
Yeah.
And
They
if they feel that they don't need space, they may be love bombing and then be completely avoidant and then just pull away. Then when the woman says this is hopeless, it begins to pull away, he'll move forward, and that is the beginning of a crazy making relationship.
Oof. Yeah. Right. Oh, honey, I could go on and on. This was wonderful, really wonderful.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too, honey. I did too. So, let's just summarize a little bit. Let's bring the threads of the conversation together. What would be some of the main points you'd want to leave everyone with?
Well, the main point is it's so important to have a foundation of friendship, of trust and safety. Thank you. Before becoming lovers. Mm-hmm. And not to turn the relationship on its head and to become lovers first and then try to scramble to see if you can create a friendship.
Right. Yeah. And that just derails everything. It's just too complex too soon.
Yeah.
And then the other big piece of this is that once you do put a stop to casual sex, once you do put a stop to casual sex, then you have to really start to ask yourself, well, what do I do? How do I create what kind of relationship do I really want to create? And how do I start to create that with a man? What does it look like? And how do I get the skills? Part of that is getting coaching, learning how to create a phenomenal relationship, a conscious one from the very start with a wonderful man. I mean, when guys like Benjamin are out there, but they're not going to come along, all that often. And when a guy like my husband does come along, are you going to be ready to capture the heart of a man like this? Because this is a high level of consciousness to coexist in. We have had 19 and a half years of never fighting.
Yeah.
We're not mean to each other. We don't take our feelings out on one another. We are lovers and guardians of each other's souls. So to have this, you've got to know how to do the work to have it. And yes, you can have it. This is available. This is out there. That's the other thing I want you to know. Benjamin and I aren't special. We're two people, two human beings who found each other, who did this work on ourselves.
And we've seen it with other couples. We have many other couples who have gone through our courses and programs who have this. Yeah. So, find out, get coaching, watch my free 45-minute webinar or presentation. A lot of women say just that 45-minute presentation is life-changing. And if you like what you hear, you can even sign up for a call with me or a member of my team. You can work directly with Benjamin and me. If you like these podcasts, learn from us. Come on, join one of our courses and work with us. You can also hear us, go rate and like this podcast. You can go to Spotify, Audible, Apple, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Like and rate the podcast. Tell your friends, listen to what we're saying. I don't think we're the only couple out there talking about this, but, we have that thing most people are looking for. I mean, I'll just be real. This has been 19 and a half years of, just magic. And so,
watch the presentation, like and rate the podcast, and also like my YouTube channel. And come back and see us. We release 2 podcasts a week. And you can also find us on Facebook. I have Live with Lisa or Lunch with Lisa, and then Getting Inside the Right Male Mind with Benjamin Shield, my husband.
And the podcast is DWD.
Dating Without Drama. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Dating Without Drama. You can also send us your emails. Let us know if you like the podcast or if there was a specific topic that you'd like us to talk about, or if there's one that we talked about that you really loved. Let us know. We love your feedback. It really helps us know what you want us to talk about. So please do that. And you can send me an email, and that would be dwdpod@lisashield.com. All right.
Great.
That's it for today.
Thank you.
Thank
That was
you so
fun.
much. It was wonderful, baby. I love you.
And Frank Sinatra, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. I love you, baby.